Hey, what's up everybody, it's me Jordan, and I'm back with another inking video. In this inking series, I like to give you guys a bit of a preview of some of the drawings I'm going to be colouring with my Copics coming up. I've got heaps of works in progress, so with these videos I just like to share some of that. I definitely don't show the whole process, as you can see, I've already done a lot of it. I try and keep these videos pretty short because I know inking can get pretty boring. But anyway, in this video, I'm drawing 3 characters from the anime and manga Prison School. I haven't seen this, I've seen a couple of little trailers and a little bit about this anime, and it looks really crazy and pretty funny. Just really over the top, as you can kind of see by these character designs. And I thought this one would be a fun one to do because a lot of the drawings I've been doing lately have been just portraits, so just the head. I haven't really done any full body drawings in a while, so I thought this one would be kind of cool to do. Plus it's got the 3 characters, so a little bit extra for you guys. More boobs. All the details in this are really small, apart from the boobs. So I couldn't record the whole thing just because when I'm doing the small details in the faces of these characters, as you'll see later, I have to lean in really close and it just doesn't work with the camera because then my head's going to be in the way. So that's kind of why I chop these videos down a little bit. I don't know if I've got bad eyesight, but I always like to get really close to the paper. I feel like I have more control of my inking, and you really want to get the inking smooth. So if that means I have to stop recording for a bit, that's just something that I've got to do because I want to do the inking as best as I can. So I'm sorry I can't show the whole process, and that's kind of the reasoning why I don't record the whole thing. But you can still kind of see what I'm doing and get an idea of how I do my line work. I don't know if I've got bad technique with how I do my line work. I know a lot of people say that you should be doing long flowing lines and not really chicken scratching, but I kind of like to chicken scratch a little bit. I can do long flowing lines as well, but often I find I can get smoother and thinner lines when I chicken scratch a little bit because I can be really light. I'm not really sure, I'm kind of more worried about the final result, honestly. And if I can get a better result doing some chicken scratching, then that's what I'm going to do. I think it definitely depends on what you're using to do the line work as well. If you've got some brush pen or something like that, then you're going to want to be a lot more smooth with it. You're not going to want to chicken scratch with that. So it just depends on the art tools that you're using as well. That being said, you definitely want to be able to control your strokes. You can't chicken scratch everything. Sometimes you need to do the long flowing strokes when you're doing hair and stuff like that, and you want a more natural look. But pen control and line work control just comes with time. I get a lot of people asking and people saying that I've got really clean line work, and that's something that's just built up over a really long time. You can't really rush it. There's not so much certain techniques that you learn, it's more just your hand gets more controlled, you get more steady, and the only way that's going to come is by practice. So just stick with it, and your line work's going to kind of slowly improve. And then you look back to your old drawings compared to what you're doing now, and you'll definitely see an improvement from that. So for practical advice and just a couple of tips when it comes to line work, I think you really got to loosen up sometimes. I see a lot of people's line work and it can be really kind of stiff looking and not flowing at all, and you can tell that when that person's been drawing it, they've just been really tense and not flowing. So you just want to loosen up. Sometimes you'll make some mistakes, but at least if your line work's loose, it's going to be smoother anyway, and it'll look a lot more flowing and natural than it looks like a robot's kind of shakily drawing it. I don't know if that really makes any sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully you kind of get what I'm saying, or at least be encouraged to keep practicing, because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. No fancy techniques, no secrets, just practice, and you'll learn naturally. I used reference for this drawing. The artist is Akira Hiramoto, who is the creator of Prison School. Well, the artist for it, I assume he's written the story as well. So his artwork is pretty awesome. Just the whole characters that he's drawn, the proportions, he does some really interesting poses, lots of fan service kind of stuff, but I can still definitely appreciate the anatomy and how they managed to draw all these crazy poses and stuff. You can tell so much practice goes into that. So check out some of his work if you want to see boobs and panties. screenshots. Some awesome drawings. These artists are just like next level. It's pretty insane what they do. You can tell how much time and effort has gone into their craft and mastering what they do. So really inspiring seeing their stuff. And pretty depressing at the same time. But that's the beauty of art. There's always someone who does it better and makes you feel shit about your own work. I'm just kidding. We're all perfect in our own way. Or some bullshit like that. Alright, so we're nearly done with the line work for this one. I find it funny because when I tell people I draw anime style stuff, this is probably exactly what they imagine I draw. I don't know why people have, well actually I do know why people think anime stuff is always just like boobs and inappropriate stuff like that. It's because shows like this, so I don't even know what to say. Maybe I'll just call this Anime Inc. episode boobs and leave it at that. Anyway guys, if you want to keep up to date with my work and see progress photos and all that good stuff, check me out on Instagram. I post lots of stuff there. I'm not sure when I've uploaded this because I've recorded it in advance because I'm going to be on holidays. Maybe when you're watching this, I'm already going to be on my holiday, which is on a cruise in the ocean. So I don't really have access to the internet, so if I'm not replying to comments, it's probably because I'm in the middle of the ocean. So just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to ignore anyone, I just can't reply yet, but I'll try and get around to that later. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. And like always, I'll catch you guys next week in next week's drawing video. I know I kind of ramble on about stuff that's not necessarily related to what I'm doing sometimes, but hopefully it's at least a little bit entertaining or informative. Or should I just shut up and play music?